Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between RoxKISCreed and Minato on New Gettysburg, the latter edition. In the bottom left side of the map, we have the red Terran player. It is RoxKISCreed from HD Gaming. And in the bottom right side of the map, we have the yellow Zerg player. It is Minato from Cascade Gaming. All right, so this is a GM versus a GM level ZVT for you guys. I'm very excited about this one. It was sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. Again, if you are a GM level or know somebody who is, send me your replays. I'll likely cast them just because I'm looking for new interesting stuff from the GM levels of StarCraft 2. And the pro stuff, while very entertaining and generally the most popular stuff on the channel, GM is also very good for unique strategies. Such as one involving Minato just a few weeks ago, where he went mass swarm host before the patch against Protoss and won. I'll put a link to it in the top right here if you didn't see that one, but it was incredibly interesting. Again, before the swarm host cost was nerfed or brought down to where it's cheaper today than it was at the time, he still made it work against Protoss and just straight up won the fight. So that was really interesting. Interested to see what's going to come from both of these players. We have cast games from HD Gaming before. And RoxKISCreed, it's like, I want to say some kind of like music theme here. Night at the Roxbury with Kiss and Creed. Kiss and Creed are both bands. I don't know. Maybe HD Gaming can let us know what this player's name is all about. So in fact, this is going to be a Reaper. This is in fact going to be a Reaper. Moving on out here. And our Reaper list is ready to go. And this Reaper's name is going to be Mr. Wiggles. Alright, so Mr. Wiggles got his start on a television show for kids in Dominion space. Unfortunately, he was falsely accused of inappropriate relations with those children, forced to leave his TV show in disgrace, was threatened with prison unless he put on a Reaper suit and killed at least 5 drones and a Zergling. If he does those things, he will be set free, still in disgrace, but not have to go to Terran prison, which is a terrible, terrible place to be. So, Mr. Wiggles, you are innocent. You must prove your innocence and earn your freedom by murdering these lings and drones. It is such a difficult job, though. That is such a high bar. 5 drones and a ling hopping into the main base. His desperation leads him to do crazy things, getting so far onto the creep, not getting surrounded, hopping down to the natural, using that KD8 charge to the best of his ability. The queen is out now, though. He must pull back. He must pull back and live to fight another day. Maybe if he's lucky, he can get in there when Minato is not paying attention to get something else done. A Slow Overlord is going right across Creed's main base here, seeing everything that is going on. Did he see that starport? He did not see that starport, so maybe not everything, but it was a pretty good scout nonetheless. Double refinery here in the main base for Creed. I'm going to call him Creed from now on. A double Hellion maneuver on the way next, and poor Mr. Wiggles just hanging out there, knocking down his own unbuildable rocks is Minato, and double queen here just waiting for Mr. Wiggles to come back so they can stab him in the face. They heard what he did. They heard what happened with that TV show and those kids, and they are angry. Queens care about kids too, you know. They're moms. They lay eggs. They take care of their young. They care about human young too, probably a little bit. It actually reminds me of Harry Potter. I'm reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix to my kids right now. And there's the scene where they're in the forest and Hagrid has just showed them Grop, his brother, the full giant. He's trying to teach English and they're super freaked out about it. Harry and Hermione are. And on the way out, the centaurs stop them and they're like, Hagrid, we would totally murder you, but you're with foals. And they're like, what? Oh, right. We're not adults yet. Even though they're like 15 at this point in the book. Like, they're not kids necessarily, but either way, the centaurs respected the young of the other species, and I'm sure the queens respect the young of human species as well. So Mass Hellion here from Creed. I wonder if he's trying the mech strategy. Yep, Liberator's there as well. He does have a barracks with a tech lab coming up onto that. So Hellions with our Mr. Wiggles Reaper. Maybe he can earn his respect. Earn it here with this pack of Hellions. What do we have out of our Zerg player? Just pretty much going mass queen. He's double pumping queens. He's making lings. He's throwing up 2 evolution chambers to prevent Hellion run-bys up along the top side of this natural base. His third base is almost up. Hellion's trying to see that. Does he have an armory for Hellbat transformation? He does not. So he can't use Hellbats on that building, which would kill it a lot faster. Creep spread looking fantastic from Minato. But again, it should, considering he has 6 queens with 2 more on the way, getting a Baneling Nest right at the front as well. And these Hellions do not like those odds. Liberators moving out for Creed. Maybe it's Apollo Creed. Maybe it's a Rocky movie reference. I don't know what the first part would be, though. RoxKISCreed. It almost sounds like a mantra of some kind. RoxKISCreed. RoxKISCreed. +1 plus up, or +1 up for those Lings and Banelings and Ultras. If Minato decides to get those at some point. Liberator setting up shop. But there are 6 queens here, yo. Make that 7. Make it 7. These Liberators in so much trouble. 1 queen does die, but both Liberators get taken out immediately. Hellions trying to come into the void left by those queens, but there are a lot of Speedlings down here. The Hellions do not want to go in that narrow choke. They will get stuck. Instead, they content themselves with taking down a lot of these creep tumors out here. Just outside. They get all but 2. Very annoying for these queens. They laid those creep tumors down with love. Yes, they did. Lair on the way for Minato, and working on Stim +1 and +1 for the biological units for Creed. Third base on the way here for Creed as well. So far I'd say Minato doing pretty well. He's up 59 to 46 total Harvesters. He's taken a 4th base. 2 more Liberators coming in for Creed. I don't know, man. You saw what happened the first time you tried this. You got, like, you killed a queen and lost 2 Liberators for your troubles. Alright, well, coming in anyway. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That Overlord did scout them coming across here, so these queens are ready to rock. There's a Spore Crawler here too. Creed, 1 Liberator dies immediately. 6 workers killed as the Hellions get down here into the 3rd base, roasting up everything they possibly can. Good positioning on these Hellions. Actually, 11 drones killed, finally getting cleaned out by the Lings and the Banelings here to defend. But yeah, that's 11 drones lost in exchange for a few Hellions. So resources lost, definitely favoring the Zerg a little bit here. About 1,850 lost for the Terran and around 1,300 lost for Minato. +1/+1 on that yellow. Man, I love this yellow. It's so pretty. It's so pretty for Zerg. It was pretty for Orcs as well back in Warcraft 2. I remember specifically being impressed with the yellow, just being how bright and shiny it was on those Orcs. Immediately getting started on +2/+2 is Minato for those Lings and those Banelings. Combat Shield finally coming up for Creed. I guess if you made that many Hellions, you don't have enough resources to go for your biological upgrades as soon as you would otherwise. Marauder on the way. There's those Hydras with the groove spines. That is going to be changed, I understand. There's going to be a quick patch to move Hydra range back down to 6 from 7, a max of 7, down to a max of 6, and see if that helps out. It's just the Hydra... I mean, it went from being basically useless in most situations in earlier patches of StarCraft 2 to being really good and pretty much used in all matchups in the current patch 3.8. So I think that was a little bit of an overcompensation. David Kim and the other balance people at StarCraft did not see that coming. They're going to bring that back down. But for now, this is 3.8. So these Hydras will have a max of 7 range. Man, they look so sexy with that yellow. Man, they look good. They look good, but I main Zerg, so take my opinions with a grain of salt. Creed moving on in with Marines, with Marauders, with Hellions behind, trying to take down this 4th base. Is he supply blocked a little bit? Yeah, Minato is supply blocked, but Banelings rolling on in. Hellbats! Oh, taking the direct brunt of all of those Banelings there, and that extra 10 HP really making a difference in this situation. 40 HP instead of 30 once they get that speed. Trying to focus those Banelings down. Couldn't quite do it. A lot of dead Hellbats, a lot of dead Marines limping back home. Is RoxKISCreed. Got some damage on the 4th, but didn't even really come close to taking it down, unfortunately. Wow, that was a ton of drones that just popped out there for Minato. He's at 85 to 66 workers. 85 to 66. Marauder holding on to this north Zelnaga watchtower for about the next 3 seconds, because the Lings are going to murder him with their +1/+1. Hydras too. I mean, Hydras had something to do with that. Yeah, so range of 7, damage of 12, weapon speed 0.54. They are murder machines. That extra range just makes it so you get a bigger concave, is what you do. More DPS for more Hydras over time really adds up and causes huge problems for Terran and Protoss. Here we are with RoxKISCreed moving another drop on out. This is 4 medevacs full of things like Hellbats and Marauders and Hellions and Marines and stuff, and trying to drop here inside the main base. Actually avoiding that Overlord very nicely. There's no response from Minato. Oh, there are some queens here, but I don't know if there's going to be enough. These guys dropping down. The queens should transfuse themselves. Spore Crawlers taking out 2 medevacs by its lonesome. Creed needs to do a better job babysitting. Banelings rolling on in here. Hydra is coming as well, and it's going to be enough to pick up and boost out. 1 medevac remains. The rest of the Marines and Marauders at the mercy of these Hydras, which are just absolutely abjectly terrifying. there. So again, RoxKISCreed, I give him credit for being aggressive here, doing what he can to get these drops and make them happen, but he's just not doing enough damage, I don't think. It's 79 to 74 harvesters, though. Creed doing a good job. He's got his third base up and running. I think he should probably take a fourth. While he moves up the middle with the Marines and the Marauders, killing a lot of creep tumors. He has killed 17 of them so far. Make that 20, 25. Can he get to 30? Ladies and gentlemen, he's got 27. He's going to hold there, attempting another drop here inside the main base, killing these spore crawlers that are all up along this left side of the main for Minato. A couple Lings come in and a single Hydra trying to take these boys down, but no, they are too strong for that. Lings, though, with +2/+2 are just scary, and they do clean up the rest of that bio. Where's this hive that I saw? There's the hive. The hive popping at the natural base. +3 ground carapace and +1 missile attack on the way for Minato. Baneling's getting target fired pretty well there by Creed. Still able to do it to some extent. It is not impossible, as you can see, but the Hydra, with that extra 7 range, also can pick off medevacs that are trying to retreat from a greater distance than ever before. There's no Spire here, so Minato doesn't really have a way to chase down the medevacs when they're in dead airspace like this. They kind of are stuck on the ground, chasing back and forth, which could be to Creed's benefit as he makes a nice juke, just like Juke Skywalker. Is Juke Skywalker dead? He is. Juke Skywalker is dead. No, that's not Juke Skywalker. That's the previous game. Or the game later. Dang it, I'm getting our Reaper names mixed up. That was Mr. Wiggles. So here comes the drop at the 4th base. Minato going to lose a lot of the stuff here. His army is completely out of position. Everybody's coming home to deal with this. The 4th base does act up, exploding. And picking up and getting out of there is RoxKISCreed. Very nice job there. Lurker Den on the way for Minato. Going for that Lurker tech. Killing 3 drones in the process was Creed. And his 4th base is up and running. That's a planetary fortress as well. Again, you want to get high-sec auto-tracking for these planetary fortresses, as Hydra range of 7 is enough to outrange them with their range of 6 without high-sec. Does he have an engineering? He does have an engineering bay because he's been doing upgrades. Where are you? Where are you, engineering bay? You need this. You need that high-sec auto-tracking upgrade. Lings coming on through, killing submarines that were killing more and more creep tumors. That is 29 creep tumors killed, and a pretty good job with it, but that's another base from Minato. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th base. He hasn't really replaced his 4th. He just kind of decided to expand towards this middle. Instead, Lings going after the PF at the 4th base, but good luck with that. Straight up Lings, they don't have a great time against planetary fortresses. What do we have here? Banelings, a lot of Banelings. This is enough Banelings. I think it's 13 to take down a planetary fortress. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So it should be enough depending on the target firing here on the PF. And here they go, rolling right on in. Do they want to take down the PF or they want to get the SCVs instead? And they do. They get all the SCVs. Meanwhile, stutter stepping backward here is Creed, taking down these Lings. Hydras chasing on in as well, but no. The Hydras do not chase this army. Another attack here at the 4th base that does not exist from RoxKISCreed. Coming down in here to the 5th base, just down the lane, killing a queen. What are the upgrades on these guys? +2, +2, +3, +3 on the way. Banelings, Hydras chasing the Terran army back there, but the 4th base did fall for Creed. That is a terrible position to be in. Just a bad feeling overall here. And flying back up here is RoxKISCreed in this dead airspace in the top right, waiting for their army to go away. There's a Spire. Finally getting a Spire at the 13-minute mark. Seems a little late when your opponent is as drop heavy as he's been. But here are some tanks. No upgrades on those tanks for RoxKISCreed. Vehicle weapons level 1 actually just now completing, so I lied. +1's there. +1 is there. Missile attack level 2 completing for Minato as well. Ultralisks on the way. Kindness plating coming up. The maximum armor on Ultras has been dropped from 8 to 7, which makes him a little more squishy. Not exactly like too squishy or anything, but squishy enough, I would say. So +3, +3 inches, seconds away from completing for RoxKISCreed, was going to help immensely. Cleaning up the remnants of the 4th base are some Hydras and some Banelings. A Hydra Baneling Ling strategy with Ultras mixed in as well. Oh, these Hydras do get caught out in the open, though, and look at this. Absolutely getting massacred by the Marines and the Marauders. Nice pickup. RoxKISCreed needed that one. Meanwhile, dropping here at the 3rd base, Hydra's taking out the medevacs first of all. That's exactly what they need to do. This small drop gets cleaned up as they are vastly outnumbered. 4th base being planted here in the middle bottom section, not at the island, but, you know, just towards the bottom here. Another planetary fortress. High-sec auto-tracking yet? No. Still a range of 6 on those guys. And here comes a tank Marine Marauder army. +3, +3 on these bio units, and a lot of tanks with +1 attack. And here he comes, Minato going for it from the right side. The tank's getting splashed. That Ultra died immediately, though. Wow. Look at how quickly that Ultra died. He does have the 7 max armor completely out here. This 5th base for Minato is just being abandoned. Minato can't protect it at all. He's kind of indecisive, dancing back and forth. The 5th base does end up falling. He's coming for it now, but it's too late. It is too late. His base is gone. RoxKISCreed really doing well with his positioning. I love this mass tank count. I love the spread on these tanks too. Not allowing Blinding Cloud to be a problem. Broodlords on the way for Minato, though that could be a big deal. And here it is. Ultras again exploding left and right. Hydra is dealing terrible damage from the back, but nobody is touching these tanks. And they are absolutely going to town. Ultras dying all over the place. That is 7 Ultras killed, and the tanks clean up the rest of those Hydras. 47 Hydralisks killed and 7 Ultras. Wow. I am very impressed with Creed at this point. He's setting up with Liberator support as well, having taken out every one of those Hydras. This replacement 5th-ish space, I don't know, here on the top for Minato is under fire. Tanks with their extra damage versus armored really coming into play here. And that hatchery does end up falling very quickly there. So Minato can't feel good. He's got Mutas and he's got Broodlords though. So we'll see how well those work out for him, as I don't think Creed is aware of this. He's not making any Vikings to speak of. And here we go. Suddenly, Sky Zerg is here. The tech switch has caught Creed completely by surprise, making his tanks utterly useless, except against a handful of Lings that are actually cleaning up tanks fairly well, as they are wont to do. The Zerg army chasing the Terran army back home as quickly as they can. Broodlords slowly falling afterward, and just making Liberators right now is Creed. So he thinks he can handle this with Liberators. I don't know. They don't have that extra damage against light anymore. As you can see, straight up 5 damage times 2. Versus Broodlords, versus Mutas, versus Corruptors. Banelings here on the ground. Minato desperately trying to replant and replace his economy. It's 59 to 67 workers. Resources lost. About 16,000 for the Terran and about 22,000 for the Zerg. Those lost Ultras were huge. Minato doesn't even want to try those anymore. Definitely hanging on to the Sky Zerg approach with a handful and a smattering of Banelings on the ground. So Broodlords, he has 5. He's got 12 Mutas, 5 Corruptors. Liberator count is at 9. 5 at a time on the way. Ghost Academy coming up for that snipe ability. It's not snipe, but that's what I like to call it. Steady targeting, which is just so many more syllables than snipe. It really is. Holding the Zelnaga Watchtower is our friend RoxKISCreed. RoxKISCreed. +1 air weapons coming up for RoxKISCreed as well. We call him by his full name because he deserves it. He's doing very well for a Terran in patch 3.8. Killing more creep tumors up along the top of this replacement 5th base. That is 52 creep tumors killed to this point, and the army's coming here. The Mutas, the Corruptors, the Banelings, the Hydras are here. The 4th base has been replanted from Minato, but the tanks are all over the place. Broodlords coming from the bottom side. Liberators distracted by Corruptors. Banelings crashing onto the stuff on the ground. Liberators not quite sure what to do. Muta's doing a great job. Corruptors as well, taking down these Liberators very, very fast, trying to kite as best they can with that splash damage, doing well against the Mutas, but the Corruptors are a huge problem. Forced to retreat. Minato wins that battle extraordinarily well, but 27 drones lost their lives in that exchange. That's 47 workers that have been killed against the Zerg player and 15 SCVs that have lost their lives. Liberators setting up shop here. Oh, mostly down here, I think, at this 6th base. But Liberators did a good job. Mutas chasing them away. Missile turret chasing the Mutas away in turn. Lings again trying to take down this PF, which has been replanted. The 4th base is back for RoxKISCreed. This is where the Ghost Academy is as well. Is he making ghosts? Does he have any? No, he doesn't have any yet, but he's making Vikings. Good choice here against these Broodlords. So 5 Vikings in the air. Bunch of Corruptors here as well, though. I just feel like the Terran player is in trouble. The siege of the 5th base has begun. Liberators trying to take out these Broodlords before they can do too much damage. And the Mutas are here. The splash damage absolutely evaporating them, though. Wow, those Mutas are gone. Corruptors trying to split as best they can, but Marines on the ground lending additional DPS with their +3 attack. The Rocks making sure that not all the Marines can attack. Banelings clearing out. Oh, the ground units are gone thanks to that Baneling attack with a single Lurker here as well for Minato. 2 Corruptors remaining. The Broodlords pushing on. Pushing on indefinitely here, but no, there's nobody to support them anymore. And look at that. Bam, gone. They is dead. Lurkers stabbing away at stuff. Actually focusing down these Rocks. I'm not sure that's what Minato intends for this Lurker. Oh, now he's attacking other stuff. You have a scan available, don't you? Come on, you have a scan available, right? There it is. There's the scan, and the lurker does get cleaned out. Finally. Good heavens, that was ridiculous. All right, so Minato switching back to a Hydra Ling composition. He doesn't quite have the economy to go for those Broodlords again, and considering how well the Liberators did in that situation, I'm not sure that he wants to. It's 126 to 110 total supply. Going to knock down these rocks leading into the 5th base, these Lings and these Hydras, but that's a lot of Liberator with Defender Mode Circle. With Planetary Fortress support here as well. It's a good place to be. It's just the Hydras are the problem. Again, range of 7, and they can outrange. Look at that, outranging that Planetary Fortress. Defender Mode Circles are up here as best they can. They're taking out one individual Hydra at a time. The Hydras are forced to retreat here. Lings chasing all the way up into this natural base before they get scared away. Maybe heading towards the 3rd, which actually doesn't have a base anymore. I think that was probably lifted and moved. Yep, up here to a 6th base. Just to the right of the 4th. Not a Planetary Fortress, that is a command center. The Lings can do a little bit more work there. More Lings coming on in. This is absolutely insane. Insane, you guys. Hydras clearing out everybody in the skies. There's a single Thor here. I don't know if the Thor wants anything to do with these Hydras. He does not. The Lings take him out as well. Poor Thor. And these Hydras, I mean, actually putting everybody to shame right now. Marauders, Marines, nobody wants to deal with this Ling Hydra composition. And yes, the 6th base ends up falling for RoxKISCreed. 7th base, or 5th base, still alive. But Minato coming for it, going for supply depots, not supply blocking his opponent, as neither of them are even close at this point. They both have about max level supply, and that is about it. Hydras, no, don't get in range of that Planetary Fortress. It doesn't matter. It's going to fall. The repair, though. The repair, can he save the PF? No, the PF ends up getting destroyed there. All the SCVs dying as well. Liberators setting up at Minato's 6th base, killing all the drones there at the same time. It is an epic battle between Hydras and Marauders. And Vikings even landed here desperately, using Vikings in their ground mode as RoxKISCreed. Medevac support is very important, but they're very low on energy as well. Look at these Hydras go. +2, +3 on these guys, where the +2 is the attack. And the +3 is the armor. Finally might actually win this thing. He does. RoxKISCreed wins it. Liberators flying around at the same time. The multitasking by RoxKISCreed has been insane in this game. There are Spore Crawlers at the front of this 4th base, but no, not along the back side. Trying to set up those Spore Crawlers as fast as they possibly can to hit the Liberators. A couple more coming on down to find different angles of attack. There are Hydras defending, though. These guys are absolutely just scrapping and fighting so hard right now. With just so little, it's 27 to 34 harvesters. Minato has a lead, but it's just not much. RoxKISCreed mining from this 4th base, but that is about it. At this point, he's trying to lift his command center, orbital command, from his natural and fly it all the way to be his 6th base, and do the same thing from his main to his 4th. Lings chasing away, +3/+3 Marauders and Marines. More heavily Marauders, which is kind of a problem. But hey, they hit pretty hard. That Queen going to get killed as well right here at the 6th base. Can they take down the 6th? Creed is trying to do it for the 2nd time. Lings, again, the stutter step is required. The Hydra is trying to take down the Medevacs as the Medevacs are trailing and focusing them down very, very well. Is Minato in this game. Trying to land RoxKISCreed. He's just to make that a Planetary Fortress, but he can't. It's already an orbital command. Reinforcing units coming in from Creed. Once again, another battle between Marauders and Hydras. Medevac support proving incredibly important here. Also, Minato not having that +3 attack, I think, is enough to allow Creed to do better in this battle than he normally would. These Hydras with that range, and the Lings as well. Marine here with 2 kills. And both players retreat with minimal forces to their names. Liberator trying to set up in a place where the Spore Crawler cannot hit it, but it can definitely hit drones, and finding a happy spot to do so with that additional range of 18 on that Concorde cannon. Lings trying to sneak on up to this 4th base. No, the 6th base. Oh, once again, it's an orbital command. Once again, Lings. I think they're going to take this thing down. How are these Lings upgrades? +3/+3 Lings. Holy smokes. So difficult to kill. So difficult with, with adrenal glands as well here. And forcing a liftoff on the orbital command on the 6th base. The 5th base is up happily running. But there's just so little here for RoxKISCreed. Can he do this thing? Terran fans, let me hear you say, hey-oh, RoxKISCreed, RoxKISCreed, RoxKISCreed. He's got Hellbats coming in. Seems like a good choice to use against these Lings. Checking for additional bases the Zerg player has with scans. He doesn't see much. he doesn't already know about, so he's pretty happy about that. Liberator, oh, is in range to get hit by this Hydra from the 3rd base while he's sieging the 4th. Can he get out of there in time? He does. No, but Spore Crawler finishes him off. Finishes him right off there. Ugh, that just... All right. We're taking a breather here. We're taking a breather at the 25-minute mark. Lurkers defending the 6th base for Minato. Again, just right across the way. Right across this little chasm with, like, giant dinosaur fossils here. I actually haven't looked at this closely before. There's like a dead overlord down here and some kind of ankylosaur type thing. I don't know. I don't know. One thing about dinosaurs is they're always changing, man. The dinosaurs that I knew when I was a kid, those are gone. Those are dead and buried and gone. Marines, Marauders chasing up. Taking this North Zelnanga Watchtower, shooing the yellow Zerg player away. What else do we have here? More Liberators from RoxKISCreed. If at first you succeed, try again. Man, so many drones have lost their lives at this 6th base. So many. Killing the ones on the gas, so important to kill. Really keeping Minato's gas income to a minimum here. Can the Hydras even hit this? I don't know. Maybe coming down this middle path they can. This little narrow neck connecting the 2 bases at the bottom, but otherwise I don't know where else they can hit them. He needs Corruptors, he needs Mutas, he needs something. He just doesn't have anything flying right now. Except for Overlords and an Overseer. Checking to make sure nobody has the gold base, which is very nice. I'm surprised nobody's tried to take it yet. Seems important. So Hydra, Baneling, Ling is our combination here for the Minato. Going to try to go up against Marine Marauder Hellbat with some tank support. Pull back, allow the tanks to help here. There you go, Rox. Oh, Lurkers here too for Minato. Excellent, excellent decision. Although tanks do very well against Lurkers, as Lurkers are armored. Even though they have +3 Carapace, tanks doing 75 damage versus armored in siege mode. Splash damage as well. So Lurkers slowly sieging forward, but the tanks are here, and that absolutely evaporates those Lings. Wow. The Lings dying very quickly, and I don't know, the Lurkers are going to try to harass the space from this high ground. Good positioning there from Minato. The scan sees exactly what's going on. The SCVs retreat in time, except for one. He didn't get the memo. He gets completely destroyed there. The tank's trying to get into position to hit those guys without exposing themselves too badly. Again, great tank spread here from Rox. Can he seriously not hit that? He should be able to. I don't know. Oh, he's going to try to get the Lurkers while they're unsupported, and he does get them. Baneling hit there. Does take out a few of these biological units, but they kill a few Banelings as well as they are retreating. So more SCVs killed. Tanks trying to push up. The positioning by these guys is just intricate as can be. Minato cannot mine from his 6th base, but his 5th base hasn't been replanted. He is mining from there. Lurkers on the high ground. Pretty good. Pretty good, as it turns out, even with the scan. But they're unsupported right now. Where are they going? They're coming up along the left. From the right to the left, going to try to burrow themselves up along this high ground as well. Run, SCVs, run. All the SCVs run except for like 5 of them this time. Oh, SCVs. Oh, SCVs, get out of there. There we go. They are now retreating, and Minato having a great advantage. Tanks splashing up on them Lurkers that are burrowing at this North Zelnanga Watchtower. Medivacs flying around, trying to see what they can do, trying to hit these guys from behind. Getting that Overseer, which is a nice job. Trying to take down the 6th base are the Hiders. Their DPS is so stinking high, and they are going to get the orbital command. Boom! Ends up getting completely destroyed there. Pushing forward as RoxKISCreed. Tanks setting up in siege mode. Marines, Marauders getting rid of... Wow! 3 Hiders exploding immediately. RoxKISCreed running away with his orbital command at the top left here, where there is a planetary fortress. Hopefully he can do something about it, but the Lurkers do outrange that PF very easily with a range of 9, even with orbital, or with the upgrade. They cannot take care of it. So this planetary fortress is going to die. I think we're in base race mode right now, you guys. 5th base under assault. Tanks taking that sucker down. Wow, the 4th base for RoxKISCreed is under attack as well. Marines coming into the 4th of Minato. And some units coming back to try to stop this thing, but not much going on. Lurkers here in the natural, just destroying everything that's here at the same time. There are 4 SCVs remaining, 15 drones as well. So that 5th base is gone for the Zerg player. The 4th base gone for the Terran player. Terran player has nothing left. I think he's out of command centers. If I had to say, yes, he's out. He should be being revealed. at this point. Yep, there we go. Rebuilt his base is not being revealed. Whereas RoxKISCreed, he's coming down to the 6th base, setting up with the tanks in tank mode. Scan. Oh, the lurkers try to get a little bit too close there, a little bit too cute. 2 of them end up getting killed. There's still one there, not in range to kill anything, though. This 6th base ends up falling very quickly to these +3/+3 Marines and Marauders and tanks, with, again, the +1 upgrade. Production tab, nothing for any of these players. There's nothing going on. Let's switch over to units real quick. See what's going on there. Does he have... He has no scans available because he doesn't have any orbital commands. Oh, all right. Drones joining the army for Minato. He's got Lings. He's got Hydras. He's got a couple lurkers. He's got one lurker that I don't think can get up, or else the tanks will murder it. Yeah, Liberator setting up shop here as well. So basically, Minato says, if you're not going to be mobile, if you're going to hang out, I'm just going to kill all your stuff and win this game. So it's going very well. But look at this! Surprise group of Marines and Marauders here from RoxKISCreed sitting inside the main base playing defense. Get that lurker before it burrows. Oh, the lurker burrowed. Running away with all of his buildings and trying to pick up and run away because the lurker's murdering everybody. The Marauder, there's not room for the Marauder. Marauder, no. He gets murdered, but flying all of his buildings away as RoxKISCreed. And this might just go stalemate because Minato has nothing that can attack air units. Does he have the money for it? Nope. He does not have the money for it either. Wow, Hydras taking down supply depots. I mean, just their DPS is absolutely astonishing at this point. There are no air units for Minato, so these buildings can kind of fly around this dead space, and Minato can't do anything about it. So, I don't know. Either this is going to be a Terran win or it's going to be a draw. So, we'll see. If you're rooting for RoxKISCreed, let's hear it. RoxKISCreed. RoxKISCreed. Buildings are falling very quickly for the Terran player, though. And here we go. Same thing happening at the natural base for Minato, although this is where his hive is. Baneling Nest, falling evolution chambers, dying, Greater Spire, dying as well. RoxKISCreed says draw. Minato says plus. I think that's an agreement. Is that going to be an agreement here today? I don't know. No one's left the game. There is some Russian going on, some Russian conversation, and that's it. That is it. That's a draw. Ladies and gentlemen, some discussion here in Russian. Both players agreeing there was no way they were getting out of this thing. The Zerg, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the Terran player had this thing. All right, so he had, what, 7 tanks, 4 Marauders, 19 Marines, 2 Liberators, against 12 Hydras, 2 Lurkers, 17 Lings, and what buildings were left for the Zerg? Extractor, Ultralisk Cavern, some scattered stuff here in the main base, and that's it. 2 Extractors here at the 4th base, and with some scattered things at the 3rd as well. I think RoxKISCreed had. I'm going to call that a win. I'm going to make a judgment based on what I saw there, and I'm going to call it a win for the Terran players. So congratulations, RoxKISCreed, for getting the win against Minato in a very hard-fought, very, very back-and-forth game. Wow. I mean, units lost tab goes almost off the screen here. I can't see all of it for the Terran. 6 hatcheries killed by Creed, 1 hive, 2 evolution chambers, a spire, and a greater spire. Those 7 ultras died so fast, you guys. Did you see that? The Broodlords again here temporarily. 13 mutos get squished very quickly. 23 Liberators, 13 tanks, 89 Marauders, 174 Marines, and 309 Zerglings, and a Thor in a pear tree. So extremely hard fought. Resources lost just about even. Look at that. Look at that. 52,000 lost for the Terran and 55,000 lost for the Zerg. Both players losing well over 70 workers in the fight. So again, congratulations. RoxKISCreed got this thing. He was nice, though. He allowed his Russian friend to tap out with the draw instead of just straight up losing, because I think he had it. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me, but that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.